Hey, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Referee pala yung pare. Nag-aano ko rin kanina. Oo ano. Diba yun? Sabi ka mukha lang. Gagi ka daw siya pare. Referee pa ano. Hindi ko realize no? Same ball po. Ito pala mga ball. Ano JP? So hindi.
A very interesting slate right here at the Binyan Football Stadium. We've got the home side, Stallion Laguna FC, making a return after quite some time as we take a look at our schedule today. And later on at 7 p.m., we've got Davao Aguilas UMAC and Maharlika Taguig squaring off. That's at 7 o'clock. But first here, of course, in our first match of the day and of the weekend again, it is Stallion Laguna and Mendiola FC 1991. A very interesting slate. As we've said, we are going to mention why in a bit, but we take a look at it. Stallion Laguna FC is just outside of the top four at the moment and have this opportunity, of course, to grab some valuable points and push the tempo a little bit and provide pressure on teams or to teams who are sitting in the top four. But we take a look at Mendiola, who continue to struggle to date, and after playing 8 games, only 1 point to show from a draw that they picked up. And it's been a struggle for Mendiola, and for Stallion, it's a bit of that inconsistency because they've pretty much split their games, 4 wins and 3 losses. That's how they stand after 7 games today. As we are nearing our pre-match ceremonies, and we have confirmation once more of our slate to open this Saturday as we come to you from the Binyan Football Stadium. And a big thank you for joining us on Matchday.ph. Clara Manzano here to bring you the commentary for this one. And we are glad to have you on board as always. So let's get to it already. The reason why this is quite a marquee matchup is because this marks the first time that former Stallion Laguna captain Balot Doctora is going to play against his former team. And we were saying last time when we saw that Balot suited up for Mendiola against Davao, which was last week to be precise, it needed some getting used to see Balot in a Mendiola uniform. Medyo naninibago pa. Hindi pa bagay para sa mga tao dito in our Philippine football circuit. As teams are lining up already at the moment, and we will run through our starting lineups in a bit. But it is a mix of familiar names here for Stallion. You can say familiar because they do have newcomers, but they are players we already know primarily. Players who are experienced already from playing with the national team or playing for different squads in the PFL. While for Mendiola, they did get to introduce their new squad, their new look squad, because they played last week. But with this, it's all to play for as we are nearing kickoff in a bit. With Kaya FC Iloilo leading the way when we look at the standings, and it is 6 wins, 1 draw to show so far with 19 points. There is also Taguig FC sitting at number 2. There's Manila Digger at number 3. There's Dynamic Herb Cebu at number 4. Trying to chase them down is Stallion Laguna in 5th place. Or will Mendiola storm in for an upset and bag their first win of the season? We are going to find out, as it is all to play for right here, as teams will take it to the pitch again in tune to the Philippines Football League anthem.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. The warm welcome to King's Dog, Stallion Laguna FC, Mendiola FC.
There you go. As we've said, this marks the first time that Balot Doctora is going to play against his former team, Stallion Laguna FC, as we've said. And it needs getting used to see Balot in red and white as opposed to Stallion's iconic pink and blue, but both colors iconic right here in the Philippines Football League, or you talk about Philippine football as a whole, as we are getting and running through our pre-match protocol, and we will introduce our starters in a moment. And there you go, dito para sa Mendiola FC. There is the likes of Balot. As we've said, he's been playing up front here for this crew of Coach Dan Padernal. And then you got Payman Nasirizade, who is playing at the back, and he has given them much stability. But here is Stallion Laguna, and they are playing in that 3-5-2 formation as we speak. And yes, that's OJ Porteria, a former national team player, a veteran playing up front. But here's a look at our captains at the moment. We've got Eljan Razonable and Matt Nieras. And with our match officials, si John Mike Basinang ay ang ating referee, si Paul Galicia at sila Ryan Colores ay ang ating assistant referees or linesmen. Si Rodney Leble ay ang fourth official, si Rabelo Saluria ay ang referee assessor, and our match commissioner is none other than Jeremy Mark Pagela. Mohamed Hajimadi here, and Razonable is stepping up to the plate. And it is not the first time this season, actually, that Hamed is serving a suspension due to a red card or accumulation of yellow cards. It was 2 yellows that got the Iranian captain of Mendiola sent off, as we are going to have our tribute that we mentioned right here. Legend number 9, Balot Doctora, getting his jersey from Matt Nieras. And for the longest time, Balot Doctora was that captain for the squad from Laguna. And it's only fitting that co-captain Matt Nieras gave that to Balot, or Cap as he is called. And it's Matt Nieras who will be the skipper for Stallion now officially. And in the past calendar years or so, there have been Nieras already wearing the armband, as Balot Doctora found himself playing off the bench. Well, let's see how this match will go, because Balot is definitely familiar with all of these players he'll square up against or square off with. As this lineup now breaks off. And with Mendiola, there's Payman Nazirizade at the back again, and they will bank on Gustavo Claudio da Silva, who was playing at the back. And he is that Brazilian center back, as Balot will kick off this game. Finn McDaniel lurking there also. And you got Eljan Razonable also. You got Eljan Razonable also at the bottom of your screen. And it raised eyebrows when we saw the lineup of Stallion Laguna, because they did right that Hartman was playing at the back, but not the case here. We are aware that he is more of a central player in the midfield, an attacking midfielder or holding midfielder, and it is fitting that Stephen Holm is at the back. That is the position of Holm after all, as a defender. As Balot kicked off the match, as we've said, and the long ball sent out. It is Stallion Laguna in pink and blue, currently with the ball, playing from left to right. Mendiola FC 1991 playing from right to left, as we've said, in their iconic red, white, and black. I'm so glad you could join us here for this Philippines Football League Saturday. This is Claro Manzano bringing the commentary for this match. Later on, stay with us also, because we have Davao and Maharlika, who will play at 7. As once low cross was blocked. It was cleared off by Christian Lapas. Nieras, but here's Balot. Nieras had to release it to Hartman. Pressure down in the midfield. Shot taken over the bar here. We saw it from the get-go by OJ Porteria. But an early warning shot here in the early stages of the game, despite of teams trying to feel things out. And there's the intention of Stallion to press with the way we see Galiana, Trujillo, and Finn McDaniel positioned. And right behind him in attacking mid is Abe Placito. Not playing as a defender again here, as that ball was off Schaffner. Well, the flag is up here. There's an offside call. It's the feeling out stage again here. Yes, we are midway through the season, but with the changes made here and there, of course, it's become new look squads. And then there was the holiday break, of course, where teams broke camp. Filipino players spent the time in their respective provinces or with their families over the holiday season. Foreign players flew back to their respective homes overseas. Has to get some rest after being away from home. As Tarabi. But there was support from Galiana, Trujillo, Finn McDaniel. There was the pull. No call. Razonable. Got to collect it. But there's Nieras and Schaffner. But it's given over to Milad Begandom, one of the holdovers from last calendar year. Stephen Holm got his boot to it. Hartman got his pocket picked. Balot tried to cause havoc. But some players of Mendiola not in the same page there. That still gotta hurt because you want to make use of the opportunities that you were given, of course. So Roberto Llamas resumed play, got it to Stephen Holm. Galiana Trujillo from Schaffner. Ricky Sendra, the Argentinian. Got it over to the left, OJ. Still with him, running into traffic. But it was a stop for Michael Sims. Sims wanted to chase that down and prevent a corner kick and just, in theory, make it a throw-in. But it will become a corner for Hartman and company on the further end of the pitch. You could see that there is a height advantage here for Stallion, the home side. So they not just have the height advantage, but the home field advantage, particularly with their familiarity on the pitch. As here's the service from Hartman. Holm tried to go for it. It got into a collision, it seemed. Hey, Placito got it to Finn, but it was off the crossbar. That is a 1-2 punch combination for Stallion. Placito to McDaniel. That's been the case for a few years already with this squad. So Nasiri Zadeh will resume this. He has intentions now of playing it long as opposed to earlier. Just enough distance as it came off of Razonable, the captain here for Mendiola. It's an uphill challenge again, Mendiola without Hamed Hajimadi. As they tried to play this long, but it was intercepted by Roberto Llamas. It was well timed. OJ Porteria playing on the left as opposed to up front where it was listed in the formation that we were given. And Gustavo won this throw-in for Mendiola. Not just a throw-in, but possession, telling them again to calm down. We saw that from him also. He gives Mendiola a boost when it comes to leadership, especially with him playing at the back. It's knocked back to the Mendiola midfield. Benham Habibi. Antepuesto is one of his previous stints with Manila Monte. One of the few, or he may be the only player from Manila Monte who's on the PFL roster right now, as it's with Juan Galiana on the left, the low cross off of Gustavo. The clearance, who will win it? Hartman's positioning did the job there. It seems he got into the way of Shabab Pira. Still with Hartman. I couldn't get it to OJ Porteria. Or OJ Porteria, that is. That's why it will be for Mendiola. Some in-game adjustments already as we are only 6 minutes in. Mendiola coach Dan Padernal barking out some adjustments already or instructions. Loose touch from OJ. Gets it back though. Sandra on the left. Michael Sims also running back. So with this retooled Stallion Laguna roster, we are introducing them once more because this is their first game this 2025 as opposed to Mendiola. We got to introduce them last game when they squared off, or last weekend when they squared off with Davao Aguilas in what was a heated game. The play will be stopped for the Iranian goalkeeper of Mendiola, Peyman Nazirizadeh. He may have some trouble here with his foot. It is the left foot. Some attention needed, of course, for the goalkeeper. That is why play is stopped. Just 7 minutes in now into this game. You do not want to lose your main keeper because although Mendiola lost last game, we could see that improvement on defense. But now that they are able to improve on defense, it's about translating that onto the attacking side. As the Iranian goalkeeper is okay and ready to continue this game. He's just feeling things out also, making sure that he could move in confidence. With that, it will be a free kick. Gustavo sent it long. Nieras didn't get the best touch there. Nieras versus Doctora. It was strange to say that, of course. Begandom. A counter-attack time now. Finn McDaniel hits it to the left. They want the call here, and Mendiola gets the number they dial. It's not the first offside of Stallion Laguna in this game. We saw one earlier also. On paper, Stallion is highly favored, of course, as opposed to Mendiola. With the pieces they put here and there, especially with former national team players and PFL veterans, OJ Porteria and Mark Hartman joining the squad of Coach Ernie Nieras. Stephen Halm, intercepted though by Milad Begandom. You see Doug Schaffner did not win the throw-in for them. And speaking of Christian Doug Schaffner, his father is in the stands catching the game. He just flew in yesterday from California. As this throw-in was taken down the line. Well, with the way things went there, not the way of Mendiola, it will be for Stallion. We're talking about the roster again when we resume. So with the new players on the pitch, there's Porteria and Hartman. We talked about them earlier already, as Begandom has been supporting, has been coming up big for Mendiola as of late in the midfield. But on the bench, there's Alvin Rebadulia, who transferred over from Taguig FC. There is MJ Canicosa Libre on the bench for Coach Ernie, along with Mauro Acot. And there's Dexter Casing, a standout from the UAAP, the former Adams and Soaring Falcon. And there's a call here that will go the way of Laguna. Well, for those, of course, who are only joining us now, we can run through this squad of Mendiola FC. Other than Gustavo, their Brazilian center back, there's Benham Habibi, Peyman Nazirizadeh, there's Muhammad Darabi and company. There's Shabab Bira also. Still Iranian influence in this Mendiola squad. Yes, their squad last year had a core of Iranian foreign players. Those players exited in the transfer window, but in came another group of Iranians. As it's with Abe Placito. Placito versus Begandom. Abe just released this, got it over to the further end. And so they'll give it over to the midfield. Loose touch from Sendra. This one played long now. It's a foot race. Stephen Holm gets it to Roberto Llamas, the American El Salvadorian. Roberto Llamas has just replaced Freddy Cortez at the back for Laguna like a glove, given that he is well experienced also. But when you talk about experience and firepower, for Stallion, that next step is getting a trophy. They got to play already in the AFC level. Now it's about getting the trophy and elevating to that next step. Michael Sims. Sims in that long list of former UP Fighting Maroons who are playing here in the Philippines Football League. Plenty of UP alumni actually who have gone through the Cebu FC ranks. But traffic will continue from left to right. Some disagreements there. Mendiola saying it should have been there. C. Doug Schaffner couldn't connect though with McDaniel. The clearance. And Del Mundo could not get involved. He's playing in the left center back position as here comes Balot. He is familiar again with these players. That familiarity could just be the magic here as Mendiola are still searching for their first win of the season. They got to break that duck by getting a draw before the holiday break. Now it's about building on that somehow, despite losing many players, and then bagging a win. Things got difficult for Mendiola in the previous PFL season, where we had 15 teams compete, and the 10 teams earned the right to be retained right here in the PFL. And there was Mendiola who found themselves in the bottom third of the table and just managed to get in at the death on the last day. They bagged the 10th and final retention spot, we could say. As it was flicked over here to the right, Begandom could not connect with Sims. Sims sent his apologies. Del Mundo asking for options here as he will resume play. But let's take a look at our statistics also in this season so far. In the top 3 for scorers, there's Saikuba Sisi of Manila Digger, Shuto Komaki of Kaya, Rico Andes of Loyola. The trio there, they have 7 goals each. Statistically, the best scorer on the pitch is Finn McDaniel with 3. And here comes Gustavo. Balot tried to play it to him. He got it over to the left. Razonable to Milad. And Milad did not get the start last game with Hamed out. In theory, you could say he is the player inserted here. We have the whistle from our referee, John Mike Basinang, as 15 minutes is done and dusted. It is on to our first cooling break of the game. So with this, as we see Finn McDaniel pictured, we could expect to have a cooling break every 15 minutes. That will be at the 30th minute later on. And of course, we do not have a cooling break after 45 minutes. We will have additional time and halftime. So these cooling breaks are actually predetermined right before the game. They assess the conditions right here at the venue. The humidity, the temperature would be assessed, and the turf here in Binyan is artificial, so that makes things a little more hot right here. And it will be a test to the players, of course. Coach Ernie and his crew regrouping, and it's the same case with Dan Padernal on the other end of the pitch. But with that, we've seen Stallion get into the attacking third with a few more dangerous opportunities, or they've been able to use those opportunities a little more and look dangerous. With Mendiola, we got to see Milad Begandom control the midfield a little bit. But now it's about keeping the ball in the attacking third, because we'd see them lose the ball to Stallion Laguna, who would collect defensively. So let's see which team will be able to implement those adjustments that were made here in this de facto timeout. Teams now breaking their respective huddles. So as we are going back with our scorers again so far in this season, but we are still goalless this afternoon at the Binyan Football Stadium. For Mendiola FC, they've managed to score goals, but all in losses or a draw. Well, there is Milad Begandong with 2, along with Hamed Hajimani this season. There's also Amir Memari Manish, but he is not with Mendiola according to the team sheet. And that's because of the transfer window again. And it'll resume here at the middle. Benham Habibi will drive this forward. Off of Begandong, but the loose touch here from Razonable, the captain. It seemed like an unforced error. And it gifts it back to Laguna. Balot versus Ham. Ricocheted off a man, off a Mendiola player to be precise. It was Razonable getting, or no, it was off a Stallion Laguna player. As this ball got into the box, it's easily collected by Llamas. Quick distribution now over to Sendra. Sendra is bringing it up with the space. Porteria versus Sims, 2 quick players actually. Placito knocked it back. Hartman looking for his options. Placito over to 1. Placito, he cuts it back right here. Open goal, but this ball is skied. OJ Porteria appeared to get hit in the foot. But nonetheless, that ball was out and about. We could see it from the get-go. And a warning shot again here from Stallion. That is how they actually started off the game, with a shot that went well over the bar. Finishing let them down, but the flag is up here. But just to end that thought, of course, yes, there were shots that were well off. But that means the crew of Coach Ernie managed to get the ball into a dangerous area and potentially threaten that goal of Payman Nasirizade and Mendiola. And Gustavo, the ball he drove forward, is up for grabs. A Placito just bulldozing his way through, sent it to the middle, went to a defender, and they got to release it. Stay with Stallion here. That was Christian Lapas getting the work done here for Mendiola. Schaffner getting it to Galiana Trujillo. Sea Dog crosses this, and it's off of Porteria again. And with that, of course, they will yield possession back to Mendiola FC, the team in red and white. Stallion Laguna in pink and blue. Lapas hit it out wide to Sims. Sims versus Sendra. Some pulling and tugging, I believe. Finn McDaniel now takes it and makes it here. First blood for Stallion Laguna. Finn McDaniel bags another goal. It's now 4 this season for him. But the opener this afternoon as they get into the driver's seat. Finn McDaniel bringing out his usual celebration. New Year. Another goal for him right here. This is the play before the goal. Ricky Sendra playing it to McDaniel. He had plenty of space. Defense managed to get to him, but it was too late as this game is kicked off once more. And a chance here again for Laguna. Galiana Trujillo will try to pounce. Finn McDaniel over the bar again and skies it. Count our number of shots have gone well over the bar here for Stallion Laguna. Well, here comes Sea-Dog Schaffner, getting it to one, trying to get a goal of his own. It was just stopped by the keeper also. OJ, stopped by the keeper again. It hasn't been his day so far. Placito, Porteria denied again. Galiana Trujillo's follow-up, stopped. What an effort right here from Payman Nasirizade. Got himself going after that goal, but they still trail 1-0. Could have been 2-0 without him, actually, come to think of it. And here's another look at that play. Hartman getting it to Finn McDaniel. Defense got there, but a little late. When Finn shoots, Finn scores. Goal number 4 of the season for him. Again, as we've said, there were more dangerous opportunities even after. And that is why we end up with this corner kick. Quality ball here. Just stopped at the goal line. And that shot from Del Mundo's was wide. And the control seemed to be quite good, actually. Well, we are seeing that it is a corner kick again. Corners have gone the way of Stallion. A quality ball once more. And was it tapped by the keeper? Or was it off already from Hartman? And it is the latter here. Oh, what a spell. Shots here and there from Stallion. Saves everywhere from Payman Nasirizade. He is searching for his first clean sheet in this PFL edition. He's one of the newcomers who've jumped ship to Mendiola from overseas. And given that this is given that there's the transfer window again, Sims will try to kickstart this as he try to play balot. Doctora won a free kick that was taken quickly here by the Brave Men, as Mendiola's players are called. And there was Razonable who ran into Schaffner. And they will knock this one back. Mendiola will try to reset and get momentum going their way, because it's been with the team in pink and blue. And that went off of McDaniel, and it'll be a goal kick here. Finn McDaniel, with his 4 goals this season, he has 2 assists also that were all last calendar year. As it's won by Abe Placito. Placito taking it through, shoots, and it's a goal right here for Mr. Incredible to double the lead. And the served one here with the way Stallion have been stepping on the gas pedal. A cushion now, not just a precarious 1-0 lead. Placito just got within what is virtually point blank of the goal. Slotted it in here. Placito finding the back of the net. That is his second of the season, actually. He did score versus Wantagig according to our records. Begandom knocked this one back. Habibi. Gustavo. Payman Nasirizade. And they escape this pressure midfield. There could be a chance to attack when we refer to Mendiola. You could see signals for a handball with no whistle. You gotta play to the whistle, of course. It is the referee's decision that is final, as it will be a throw-in on the right wing for Mendiola FC. We are approaching the 26th minute. And you are catching this game on matchday.ph. And a big thank you for joining us, of course. This is Clara Manzano on call for this one. And it is a 2-0 or 2-0 lead for Stallion Laguna. Finn McDaniel gave us the opener in the 21st. And in the 25th, that is where Abe Placito gave us This Mr. Incredible moment this afternoon. Roberto Llamas got this to Nieras. That is how Llamas has been getting involved. Distributing to his center backs. Also picking up some balls into the goalkeeper box, but it's been some time. And he's done that as of late because Stallion has been in control of this game as there was the clearance from Sims. It's over to Hartman now. And later in this game, we will also give you a live picture on the developments of the standings right here. Home to Schaffner, who was cut inside. Galeana Trujillo. The Mexican winger trying to get through. Running through the brick wall of Razonable. Well, it's a call here against one in Stallion. This one played long. Off of Hartman's head. Del Mundo got it back to him though. Sims and Gustavo try to collect. Michael Sims knocks it back. The keeper clears it. Balot got it to Darabi. We thought Placito was going to win it, but it was a foul. This bulldozing Darabi, it seemed. Begandom. Antipuesto over to Razonable. Razonable has shown some promise in this game, but they'll need to see more from everyone in this Mendiola squad. They're trying to build up from the back, and that could give them confidence. As there was space, Razonable got it to the middle. Darabi. And Darabi came off the bench in the last game of theirs. There's space to operate for Sims. Whipping in this ball, the header off the woodwork, and our linesman said it's a goal right here for the Brave Men. It's a 2-1 game. It came off the crossbar and in. It did not touch the net, but our linesman saw from his vantage point that it completely passed the line. As it's on here, it's 2-1. Mendiola FC trimmed the deficit. I'll try to take a look at that replay, of course. And here is Michael Sims on the right, as we heard from our venue announcer, that it's a goal for Pira. And it is, do you say it's perfect timing of sorts here? Because Mendiola scored right before the cooling break. As we can confirm that the goal is for Shabab Pira. Here was that lovely ball from Michael Sims. It's eventually in here. Oh, Shabab Pira. You're no stranger to those deliveries from Michael Sims. We've been seeing that, of course, since his UAAP days. But it is a cooling break now. We're at the 30th minute. We had a cooling break earlier at the 15th, as we've said, with the temperatures, of course. The temperatures, as expected, going down as we are late in the afternoon already. Here was Sims. Look again, the ball hit the crossbar and eventually in. And a big thank you again for joining us on matchday.ph. This is Claro Manzano on call for this one. And it's 2-1 again. Mendiola FC pulled one back. But let's review again how we came about things, of course. We had our scoreline. There was Finn McDaniel, who opened things in the 21st. And then 4 minutes later, Abe Placito managed to make it 2-0. But there was that goal again from Shabab Pira after Michael Sims' assist. that is how we find ourselves at the moment. Some momentum going for Mendiola. Well, you could actually speculate with that cooling break. It becomes a timeout and a chance for Coach Ernie to make adjustments. Adjustments could also be made for Coach Dan. But there's that momentum, of course, which is something that is intangible, but you could see it in the ebb and flow of any game, not just in football, but in sports. Hartman got beaten, clipped his man, and we could expect him to get booked with the way John Mike Basinang is reaching into his pocket. Debut game for Stallion, and Hartman also gets his debut yellow card. And with that foul of Hartman, there was Gustavo getting forward. He may have gotten an earful from Coach Dan for doing that, of course, getting forward. Now Coach Dan gives Gustavo, the Brazilian center back of Mendiola, the go signal to join forward because this is a free kick. They'll try to get the ball into the box here of Roberto Llamas. Here comes the ball into the goalkeeper area. It was off of Ham. He managed to beat Balot to it. Earlier again, we did have a tribute, or Stallion Laguna did pay tribute to their former captain Balot Doctora right before the game. Team captain of Stallion now, Matt Nieras, handed off a jersey to Balot, which had the number 9, and it was not Balot's last name written on the back. It said legend. And as we talk about legends, we are going to see this tumbling throw-in from Shabab Pira. We saw 4 of them last game. 4 of those throw-ins did not lead to goals. Are we expecting this tumbling throw-in again? But it is a throw-in again. And it was a foul throw here again. So this is the 5th tumbling or cartwheel throw-in that we've seen this season from Shabab Pira over 2 games. Gotta manage your expectations also that there was no cartwheel from Matt Yaras when he gave his throw-in. So just going back, of course, to that cartwheel throw-in, when we did get to talk to the competition staff last week, what we were seeing, there's this dangerous chance, Ham again. He's been closing out at the back, but sadly no clean sheet guaranteed already. But the passing in the back shows the technical ability of these players of Stallion. But just going back, of course, from what we were told last week, those throw-ins of Shabab Pira would eventually become foul throws because his feet would not be planted on the ground by the time he would release the ball. As here's this through ball now, Galiana Trujillo could not meet it. Maybe a little too much power there as it was calmly picked up by Nasirizade. Sendra over to OJ. The push from Gustavo. Advantage from our referee. It's to the right now, getting in. Sea-Dog cuts it back. Sea-Dog, as we know, injects that pace. And as of late, it's been as a fullback or a wingback to be precise in this 3-5-2 of Stallion. As Ham just had to desperately clear it because there was Mohamed Darabi getting close to him. Had Darabi won that, he would have been on the clear for a 1v1 with Llamas. Nieras continued this quickly. Schaffner over to Galiana Trujillo. You can also say there's that connection because those were 2 Spanish-speaking players. That's Mr. Incredible. Just rolled down on the pitch and got up quickly and wins a free kick right here just outside of the goalkeeper box. A prime scoring opportunity here. This is Finn McDaniel range. This is also Mark Hartman range. Pick your poison. Some options here for Stallion Laguna. Off camera, actually, on the other side of the pitch, goalkeeper Roberto Llamas has made his way to the technical area of Stallion, just having a word with Coach Ernie. Here you go, two players standing up to the plate. Finn McDaniel departs that spot and is lurking for any rebound. Hartman! And it sails just over the bar. There was the anticipation from that, of course. Hartman almost framing it. 8 minutes remaining in the first half. We saw a quick look at that throw-in cartwheel. Last week, actually, we could hear the fans getting into those throw-ins of Shabab Pira. As Nieras and that defensive header. But it was hit to the middle by Gansmari Antipuesto. Dorabi. No foul here outside of the goalkeeper box. Mendiola, regardless, wanted a foul, whether it was inside or outside of the goalkeeper area. As it's brought up quickly now, transition time. Porteria. He's got some shots already in this game, but all off target. Well, mainly off target, we could say. A number of his shots, though, were just saved at point blank by Payman Nazirizade. Here comes Hartman. Connecting with Oche. Has to cross this with the angle. When Gustavo sent it back to the wing. Sims now. Tarabi. Hartman with ball control. Finn McDaniel. But there was the gutsy sliding tackle from Benham Habibi. And you see the added confidence of Mendiola thanks to their goal. There's that confidence on defense. But with them defending as of late, it's allowed Stallion Laguna to knock on the door again and potentially restore a 2-goal advantage. We could also say it's a bit of that challenge because Mendiola is playing against the sun. And with Stallion Laguna playing, or with this being the home stadium of Stallion Laguna, they are utilizing that. So they are not playing against the sun right now. And possibly later on when they switch sides, it will be sunset by then and there will be no more glare. It's just the small details, of course. A bit of that delaying from Galeana Trujillo to ensure that free kick is not taken quickly. So here is Darabi now. Takes it with his right. But calmly collected by Llamas. Very routine for him. And distributed quickly. Ricky Sendra. This Sendra Hartman combination actually was something we witnessed for United City last Philippines Football League season. Antepuesto just getting floored as he tried to collect the ball. He's still on the ground here when you refer to Gansmari. Needing some treatment though after that tough hit. It is the shin here from what we are seeing. The play definitely stopped for this one, of course. Later today, we do have Davao Aguilas, UMAC, and Maharlika Taguig squaring off at 7 p.m. right here. It's a doubleheader for your Philippines Football League Saturday action. And tomorrow, actually, February 2, over at the UP Diliman Track Oval, or the UP Diliman Football Stadium. Our main match of the week, there's Kaya FC Iloilo and Dynamic Herb Cebu. They will play at 6 p.m. But the curtain raiser for that day will be the youth national team and Manila Digger. As we have a look at A. Placito, who's been playing in the attacking mid role this afternoon. Kaya FC Iloilo this coming week actually will also play its last Shopee Cup game versus Lion City Sailors. It's been a tough campaign for Kaya FC Iloilo, but they are the representatives of the Philippines in the Shopee Cup, which is the ASEAN Club Championship. That was by virtue of winning the 2022-2023 Philippines Football League season. As it's with Balot now, he almost got that ball to Milad Bengadom in the tight space. Placito to Galiana Trujillo, and his long ball came off of Razonable. Abe wins it. Placito to Schaffner. Cido getting it to OJ. There's Galiana Trujillo and McDaniel inside the box. Porteria showing us his dribbling skills, something we've seen, of course, as Schaffner and Galiana Trujillo were not in the same wavelength at that moment. That's why it's a throw-in from deep for the Brave Men. We've got a ton of games actually slated for this calendar year when we also talk about international football. In March, there's the Asian Cup qualifiers, the third round to be precise, as the Philippines was eliminated from 2026 World Cup qualification. So it's on to qualifying for the Asian stage now, or the continental stage. The Philippines group mates are Tajikistan, Maldives, and Timor-Leste. The Philippines and Maldives will square off on March 25 actually. That's now about a month and a half away, as this was headed back to Hartman. Hartman somehow just managed to win this. This ball came off of Mando. Razonable, Milad Bengadom just had to hit the safety button. And it's with Nieras now, who will collect. Hartman, he's been pulling the strings in this midfield. He's been directing traffic. Hartman to Del Mundo. Del Mundo playing in the left center back role. He is listed as a foreigner on the team sheet, but on his online profile, he is Filipino-Mexican. We can conclude there actually with Alonzo Del Mundo. He does not have his Filipino passport yet. As Placito got this to Porteria. Porteria versus Sims. Driving it low, but it is wide off the back post here. He did challenge the keeper at that moment, and there was Payman Nasirizade reaching out. But it's 2-1 again in this game so far. Stallions' goals are courtesy of Abe Placito and Finn McDaniel. McDaniel, the prior, gave us the opener. He drew first blood. But after McDaniel and Placito made it 2-0, there was Mendiola FC scoring off that quality cross of Michael Sims to connect with Shabab Pira. It came off the woodwork and hit. And it hit the turf, of course. Not the net, but the turf. But that ball passed the line completely. As Rodney Lable, our fourth official, just confirmed to us. And we have 4 minutes of additional time here. You see a bit of that improvement now from Mendiola, taking the fight to Stallion. Sims, one UAP star to a former UAP star, getting to another former UAP star, Sims, but it was collected by Nieras. Hartman getting it to McDaniel, running out of space and no more angle. Porteria, OJ to 1. Seems he overhit it. That's why Galiana Trujillo whipped in that cross. That was stopped by Razonable. It'll be a corner kick. With this corner kick, bodies now inside the box. And Balot Doctora lurks at the half line actually. And it's Matt Nieras who was trying to lock him down. That is in the event of a Mendiola counterattack. But first they have to deal with this one. So we are awaiting the corner of Finn McDaniel. That seemed to be unideal there. We've seen better corner kicks from Finn. Stephen Hum. Cleared off. Nieras whipped it to Del Mundo at the side, or chested it to be precise. Sandra. OJ. A Placito. A Placito just trying to dribble by Christian Lapas. Sandra. Appeared to get hit there. Darabi. Lost it though. Frustration though here. It's frustration with Darabi and Balot Doctora. Frustration from their lack of chemistry at that moment because the ball, of course, or possession was lost. And there is Sandra who is down because we saw him get clipped earlier while trying to. Well, there was a challenge from Shabab Pira. Shabab Pira could be the throw-in man. It's the throw-in man we witnessed earlier. Would show us his athletic ability. Well, those long throws as of late have all become, or most of them this season, have actually become foul throws. It's 5 tumbling or cartwheel throw-ins in 2 games this season so far. And 3 of them actually have been foul throws. That came off the boot of Hum. Plenty of altitude, but not covering ground. Finn McDaniel got his boot to it, coming from an offside position. I believe our main referees let this go the way of Mendiola because they had that chance on the left, or that attacking chance. But there's eventually the whistle right here from John Mike Basinang as we are approaching the 4th minute already. And Gustavo played it to Darabi. Balot. And appeared to come off a Stallion player. Is that the case? That is confirmed. That's why there is this Mendiola throw-in. Now the question fans have to be asking. Is it going to be a Shabab Pira cartwheel throw-in? It is going to be a throw-in though from Razonable. It seems that he has that ability to throw long also. I doubt there's the cartwheel here, taken the good old-fashioned way. Off of A Placito. Caliana Trujillo appeared to get his boot to it. And nonetheless, referee John Mike Basinang calls for halftime right here at the Binyan Football Stadium. It is 2-1. That man pictured A Placito managed to bag a goal to make it 2-0. That was to follow up to the goal of Finn McDaniel in the 21st minute. It was 2-0 at that point. But Shabab Pira pulled on back here for Mendiola. That's why it's 2-1. Stallion Laguna leads Mendiola FC 1991 at the halftime break, and we'll come back in a bit.
The passion
laging ganun ako dyan. Slow mo na ako yan. Ano ba ginagawa niya, record?
We are closing in and kicking off our second half right here in your 2024-2025 Philippines Football League action between Stallion Laguna FC and Mendiola FC 1991. It's a 2-1 game so far as we speak. Mendiola managed to pull a goal back and stay within shouting distance. It was a 2-0 lead earlier for Stallion Laguna FC, courtesy of a goal each from Finn McDaniel and Abe Placito. Right before Shabab Pira managed to score one off of the cross of Michael Sims from the wing, or the right wing to be precise. Both teams ending their respective halftime huddles, and we do see someone over at the half line, or we did see someone. There is MJ Canicosa Libre, who is going to make his debut here for Stallion Laguna. And we did run through the names again, the newcomers for the two teams, especially with Mendiola playing their second game of the calendar year coming off the holiday break. In comes Libre, donning the number 14 jersey for Stallion in pink and blue. As Mendiola will break out into formation, donning their red and white uniforms as we've seen. Both teams now switching sides, and it seems that Stallion will play against the Sun now. Our prediction earlier was that the Sun will have fully set by the time we started off the second half. But 45 minutes done and dusted, and it is the home team up 2-1. Finn McDaniel got our second 45 underway now, as we have confirmation that OJ Porteria stepped off for MJ Canicosa Libre. Similar play style, now that we think of it. Both dribblers, but OJ Porteria now, or at an advanced age compared to MJ Libre, as they play it quickly to him. Libre from Sendra. Libre versus Sims. Schaffner could not meet this. Galeana Trujillo will try to collect, but it runs out. And a big thank you for joining us on matchday.ph for this one. Claro Manzano here to bring you the commentary for this match. And it's Mendiola playing from left to right in the red, white, and black uniforms. And as we've said, MJ Canicosa Libre, we have a closer look at him now, playing on the left wing. And this is his Stallion debut. Plenty of names making their debuts here for the squad of Coach Ernie Nieras. There's Libre, who joined the likes of OJ Portoria, the man who stepped off for him. And then there is Mark Hartman also. This ball into the box. Close one. Finn shoots. Finn scores, as we say and as we know. And it's a brace here for McDaniel. A perfect start to the second half. Who sent in that ball to make it possible? No surprise, no points for guessing. It's Mark Hartman. And there's a look again at our man with a brace so far in this game. A brace for Finn McDaniel. And he pushes his tally this season. Now it is 5 goals. And we do see the Balot Doctora have to kick off the game again. And earlier in this game, Stallion Laguna paid tribute to their former captain, Ruben Balot Doctora. We saw Matt Nieras, Balot's longtime co-captain, who's now the captain without any doubt. But first there's this rocket that's way off from McDaniel. Thankfully not heading past the perimeter fence. But there was Matt Nieras who gave a jersey, a commemorative jersey, to Balot Doctora. Because this marks the first time that Balot is playing against his team as Libre. A little shake, a little bake. What a goal here off the rebound. And it's good from the signal of our referee, despite of any claims for an offside from Mendiola FC. It's a much bigger cushion now. 4-1 with just a blink of an eye here. The home team is just trotting forward. And in just about a minute or so, it's Juan Galeana Trujillo bagging a goal to make it 4-1. It was only 2-1 coming out of the halftime huddle when we just recall with that shaky start for Mendiola on defense. It's allowed Stallion to find the back of the net in quick succession. And this is the first goal of Galeana Trujillo in this campaign. When we say campaign, in this season. As there was a hard hit here. And it's Shabab Pira. Things getting heated here. There was Muhammad Tarabi getting forward. But let's look at the replay. So look at the collision. The collision of Shabab Pira, or when he got clipped. Now, when he took that fall, he, of course, without a doubt, won a free kick. MJ Libre, the culprit. He gets his warning. Any similar action could warrant a card already now that he's on his warning. Coach Dan Padernal at the bottom of your screen, wanting more, of course, for that infraction, as he is having a word with fourth official Rodney Leble. And it is John Mike Basinang again, our referee for this contest. And he is assisted by Paul Galicia and Ryan Colores. Sila po mga linesman natin. That's to add to Rodney Leble being our fourth official. Ravelo Saluri is our referee assessor. And Jeremy Mark Pagila is our match commissioner. The damage has been done, but here's a chance to get another goal on the board. There was Halm trying to get his stop versus Gustavo. And with Halm taking a tough fall, he's that player down on the ground. It's a tough task, of course, having to face Gustavo, who's called the Brazilian daddy by his teammates in Mendiola, donning the number 5 jersey. It came off of a Placito here. Del Mundo He had the intention to play to the center. Hey, Placito, how often do you see him fly? Gustavo in traffic. He's adjusted to that Manila traffic, we could say, as it's on to the left now. Niera's getting busy along with Hum. The cross, the scissors kick, and here's Llamas to come up with the save. And a hit again here. But here comes Galiana Trujillo. It's loose now. Flag stays down. There's also MJ Libre. He may be offside though. The loose touch just gives it to Payman. Benam Habibi saying he was hit. No call from our referee. But here comes Balot. Will he get a goal against his former team? Took a fall there. Does not warrant a penalty. Referee John Mike Basinang is having a word in the comm set there. So we have our officials wired in with one another to streamline communication. Placito slid it to Schaffner. Schaffner getting it to McDaniel. It was kicked off by Payman though. And then it's a foul here. It was Payman who got hit in the process. And a yellow against MJ Canicosa Libre from the looks of it there. And it appears it's on that challenge against Payman as he resided the goalkeeper, who was still down and getting up slowly. On his word between Benam Habibi and our referee is because of that non-call earlier. Bookings now. With those bookings being put into paper now, of course, or into writing, the match can now continue. And a great number of members of the Philippine football community are actually watching the game live or on the live stream, of course. As Heroes Nieras appear to get pulled. How often do you see Matt Nieras complain? Of course, he lets his playing do the talking. Galiana Trujillo, that flick. It's played back though by Balot. Well, not by Balot, rather. But it was by Razonable. I've gotten used to seeing Balot Doctora with an armband. As we saw Sims beat out Libre. How often do you say that too? Gustavo. Connected here with Darabi. We're talking about members of the community catching the games. Here, of course, at the stadium, we've got the likes of Stefan Schrack traveling all the way to Binyan Laguna to catch the game. There's also the McDaniel family catching the game. A hello to Olivia and Chandler and family, of course. So we did see Galiana Trujillo get flagged offside. And with us just mentioning the McDaniel family, of course, one Galiana Trujillo. Very close. Someone who's very close to their family. Arguably a member already of the McDaniels. Finn and Juan growing up together, of course, in their early years, not just as kids, but as footballers. And here was this duel. And Hum sending it back. Stallion wants something in the attack. Placito just towering above La Paz. A bit of head tennis and ping-ponging. It's with Sea-Dog Schaffner now. Schaffner got a call-up last year to the training camp of the national team. The low cross, but it appeared to get stopped by the keeper. Tarabi got it back. Ball to open space. Would it get to Sims first or Del Mundo? It's Michael Sims, the case. He played it to no man's land. He thought Balot Doctora was up ahead. And these teams, again, just newly assembled because of the transfer window. That's why they're not in the same page. It's with Galiana Trujillo on the receiving end of a challenge. Referee said there was no foul there. And with that tough stretch of Mendiola FC having to defend ends as Paymanasi Rizade will try to jumpstart their attack. That one definitely out already. That's why it will be a throw-in. Only 11 minutes into the second half. This is our first game again of this PFL Saturday. Later on, we do have Davao Aguilas UMAC FC and Maharlika Taguig FC who will play later. And that is at 7 p.m. Here comes Milad Begandom. He drifted to the side. He's more of that central midfielder. Hom got it back to Llamas. Llamas has to release quickly. Getting into a collision with Palot. The two showing some love right there. As it's on to Libre on the left. The flag is up on the other end though. One of Stallion's team owners and Mr. Philbert Alquiros, whom I could see off camera, standing in some frustration. As there's a look at Mark Hartman. And he's been that man dictating this game so far with his influential central midfield role. Hartman actually playing that holding midfield role, and right ahead of him is Abe Placito, who's brought his Mr. Incredible self this afternoon. I believe Sims may have nutmegged Libre here, but here comes Finn McDaniel now, the keeper to beat. But there's the denial. Galeana Trujillo collects, knocked it to Schaffner. Sea Dog thought about it for a moment. He will look for options. Combining with Placito, it's with Finn. The loose touch letting him down. This one was collected by the keeper. And it's to the relief of Mendiola and the supporters of the Brave Men here. Begandom. It seems he just lost that influence in this game. He was looking promising in the first half. Now here's Balot. He went to a Placito. There's MJ Libre wide open actually. As it's played now to Finn McDaniel. Stopped again, but a chance to collect and score once more. It's a hat trick right here for Finn McDaniel in 59 minutes. It was 2-1 at halftime, but things have just ballooned here in favor of the home side. The Stallion in them just unleashed. No one there to clean up after the stop of the goalkeeper. And Finn McDaniel cleaned up. It was Sea Dog Schaffner connecting with Finn McDaniel. Both Filipino Americans. Schaffner from Northern California, Finn McDaniel from Southern California. Connecting right here. 5-1 game. A hat trick for that man right there. And you could say it's cruise control now for the crew of Coach Ernie Nieras. And let's run through the players again on the bench. We'll mention, of course, holdovers and new players. There's Charles Pickering, who's been with the team for quite some time. There's Fahmi Ibrahim also, one of their foreign players they signed up last year. There's Alvin Rebadulia, who's a newcomer. Who was recently with Taguig FC. This is won by A Placito now. Couldn't connect with Finn though. And there's NJ Canicosa Libre who was inserted at halftime for OJ Porteria. There's David Yeboah, Mauro Acot, Koichi Belgira, who's in his second stint with the team already. And Charlie Beaton, same goes for him with his second stint. And there's Dexter Casing, the standout from Adamson University. And his coach Darlton Diga will actually be playing in the game later for Maharlika Taguig. Darlton Diga was not just the coach of Dexter Casing, but also his teammate for a season. A quick transition for Darlton Diga. Now juggling coaching and playing. Not often players do that. a young coach in Coach Tarleton Tickle. There's also Coach James of Maharlika, only at about 30 years of age, but has opted to shift and focus on coaching. As this ball went off, and there will be a double change for Coach Dan Paternal, but it may be too little too late given the scoreline. And there is Timothy Uy who will enter for Michael Sims. Sims again assisted at goal of Mendiola. And there is Habes Mubarak who will enter. And it is Muhammad Darabi stepping off after putting in about an hour of work here for the Brave Men. And the man who entered, Habes Mubarak, as we saw on Mendiola's page, did get called up to a camp with his national team, Jordan, from what we saw. As it's a duel now, Libre got it to his teammates. This one was collected though by Mendiola in Benam Habibi. Placito. Wando meets it. Had to turn. It's been that type of game for Mendiola. Just losing the grips of it as Del Mundo got it to Halm. It's Libre wide. He'll stretch the defense. Opted to cut inside though. Ricky Sendra. It's just been a clinic here from Stallion after bagging goals to start the second half strong. Schaffner, they will reset. Nieras. Hartman. He's become the backbone of the attack here. Libre. 2-on-1. Got it to Sendra. Sendra to Hartman. That is a dangerous tandem in the midfield. Del Mundo to McDaniel, who opted to go out wide. There's Libre in the center. And the shot was on target, but easily picked up by the keeper. And with 64 minutes done and dusted, we are waiting Fahmi Ibrahim. We are awaiting the entrance of Fahmi Ibrahim into this game. Same goes for Koichi Belgira and David Yeboah. There'll be a triple substitution as Hartman floats this ball in. Now here's the volley from the keeper over to Stephen Holm. Arguments between teammates. Shabab Bira and Payman Nazirizade just exchanging some words. Ham, the man from Ghana. What a stop here for Mendiola. A rare one, a rare chance to get forward. The Brave Men again are without their captain, Hamed Hajimadi, the Iranian midfielder. And just looking back, because it's been some time since Stallion last played here at the Binyan Football Stadium. As there's MJ Libre on the left. Diagonal ball, trying to split the defense. When the last time Stallion Laguna FC played a home PFL game in the PFL, that was also against Mendiola in the 2022-2023 season of the league. That was on May 14, 2023. That was the last game of Stallion here for local play, as we will first run through this triple substitution. And there's Ibrahim, Koichi, and Yeboah entering. And the players stepping off. Stepping off will be Galeana, Trujillo. And Ricky Sentra will also call it a business day for himself. And the last man stepping off, and it's actually rare that he gets taken off the game, is Matt Nieras. We'll try to take a look actually at who took the captain's armband from Matt Nieras. But judging from different games, and we've seen without Nieras, it's Finn McDaniel with the armband, and I can confirm that. And Finn McDaniel chasing this and ignoring the scoreline. Nasirizade. The Hum has just been a force here, save for the goal they conceded. But it's a 4-goal lead. There's the Finn McDaniel hat trick again. A goal from Abe Placito and Juan Galeana Trujillo. For Mendiola, there is Shabab Pira again who scored. And the goal was dramatic as it came off the crossbar and into the goal. It did not hit the back of the net. It completely crossed the line. And that is enough to warrant the goal. Hartman. A classic ball from him. I spoke too soon there. Sending it over to MJ Libre. Came off of Sea Dog. Placito. McDaniel. Flag is up though. That is why the whistle is blown. 23 minutes remaining in regulation or normal time, as we will head on to stoppage time later on. And plenty of football right here. Later again, we do have Maharlika in Davao squaring off. That'll be our second game of the day, this PFL Saturday. And a big thank you for joining us on matchday.ph. This is Clara Manzano on call for this one. Stallion Laguna with that commanding lead. They are in pink and blue. Mendiola FC in red, white, and black. As there will be a goalkeeper change right here. And it is Joshua Halog entering for Payman Nasirizade. Halog actually had his last stint with Maharlika. And it's been that type of afternoon here for the Iranian shot stopper, who comes off for Halog, who is a local player, of course. He will take that long walk back to the bench, a walk that he did not want to take. Canicosa Libre was shifted to the right wing with the introduction of Fami Ibrahim. Libre entered this game on the left, but with their adjustments, he's now on the right. Then there's David Yeboah slotting in for the spot of Matt Nieras at right center back, as Ibrahim got past one. But will he get past Gustavo? That's the case here. He cuts it back. It's loose from Finn McDaniel, and they get it to Gustavo. The clearance, but tough from Balot, of course, with the way he had a man on him or a number of opposing players. For those who just tuned in, this is the first game that Stallion Laguna legend Balot Doctora is playing against his former team. Balot made his debut for Mendiola last week versus Davao. Stallion did not play in that PFL weekend. But this marks the first game that Balot is playing against his former team. As it's not so incredible there from A Placito. He thought Fami Ibrahim was going to make a run for it. And these guys, they lead 5-1 at least. At least they can stay calm. We know Coach Ernie, of course, will continue to push his team despite of a big lead. Halog. A non-ideal clearance here. That's why it was given to Placito, or gifted to Placito. Schaffner. Canicosa Libre. MJ. Refused to wilt there. That's why it is in a tough spot for Razonable. Miller Begandom. Mendiola brewing something right here. And that's right before there's a foul against Balot Doctora and his team now. And we see his team is the Brave Men again. Koichi Belgira, he did have a stint with Shan United, if I recall correctly. That was in Myanmar. Burmese clubs, of course, are teams Filipino club teams are familiar with competitions such as the AFC Cup back in the day, with that ASEAN zone on the AFC Cup, now the AFC Champions League 2. And the group stage now immediately sees Filipino clubs play against clubs all over Asia, especially in the East Coast, as there was a stop by Halog. And that's right, going back with Filipino teams immediately squaring off against clubs from all over the eastern half of Asia, as we saw that stop once more from the Mendiola keeper who came off the bench in Halog. The recent representatives of the Philippines, or the Philippines Football League to be precise, in the AFC Champions League 2, which is essentially rebranded AFC Cup, where KFC Iloilo and Dynamic Herb Cebu, and they now played clubs not just from Southeast Asia but also from the likes of Japan, Malaysia. Stallion Laguna got to taste AFC Cup action actually back in 2023. So that is when they actually played their last game here at the Binyan Stadium. As it's with Ibrahim now. Send it in. A goal off the bench right here for Fahmi Ibrahim as he gives his thanks and appreciation. Showing his faith right there. 6-1, a far cry from where we stopped at the halftime break. And it's for Fahmi Ibrahim. Ibrahim actually getting an assist in his debut game in the opener of Stallion Laguna in this season. Fahmi Ibrahim with that goal pushes his Stallion this season to 3. Libre got it back. Ibrahim recovered, got it to Koichi Belgira. But going back, we mentioned the last time Stallion played an AFC Cup game, the last time Stallion Laguna played a PFL game here, that was in May 2023. But their last game on the list at this stadium, which is their home, was in December 13, 2023 versus Central Coast Mariners. Gustavo, desperate for offense again here. Already got to go half the length of the field. As it's with Pira. He took a fall inside the goalkeeper box, and it seems it's a penalty here. And it is a yellow, and it's against David Yeboah. But the question here, was it a foul inside the box? Or was it outside? If it's in the box, it's obviously a penalty, as we know. But there's a yellow against Yeboah, who came off the bench actually. But first, there's this change. There's 2 players entering the pitch for Coach Dan Padernal and Mendiola. Gustavo, after that sprint, will come off for Sam Azimzade Tabrizi. Another player waiting is Ramin Sultani. And who is it who is going to exit the game for Sultani? Now we can confirm it's not a penalty, but it is a free kick from just outside of the goalkeeper area. That goal of Roberto Llamas has been breached already, but thankfully they have this commanding lead. Their offense, or Stallion's offense, doing the work for them to compensate for that. A save for that one goal Stallion conceded. There is. This defense has been locked down. That's why Coach Ernie has opted to insert some players into his back line and give some rest to the likes of Nieras, who was rarely subbed off given his experience. This is Milad Begandom now. There's the wall to beat. Floating it, but it is just wide though. You could see the frustration from Begandom, but it came off a Laguna player, and that's why it's a corner kick for Mendiola. Is this what they are? And this is what they've been looking for when we talk about Mendiola. But here's a look at that replay. Now with that, first there's a change with Christian Seadog Schaffner exiting the game for Charles Pickering. Let's see where Pickering will be utilized, given that he's a very versatile player. Naturally a striker. Well, last calendar year, we'd also see him play wing back. They go for the back post. It was read by Ibrahim. They want to get it out of the danger zone. Mendiola, of course, want to do the opposite. As we saw, there's one here. Timothy Uy. The Uy was shaken off and pushed aside by Del Mundo. As A. Placito played this. Halo got to clear it. Uy almost won it for them though, but Pickering collected. That's why Hartman came close to playing Ibrahim, but sent to the side by Cans Mariante Puesto. It's that first 20 minutes where Mendiola looked promising in the game, in this game in particular. Right before Finn McDaniel broke the ice. Del Mundo got past one. Canicosa Libre. Koichi Belkira. Seeing there's Pickering. But this ball appeared to be overhit. It took a bounce and goes out. And we'll also see how this impending result will impact the standings. Goal difference, a big help here to, or this 5-goal lead, a big help here to Laguna. And with this win, Stallion is now on 15 points after playing 8 games, but there are a number of teams actually who have a game on hand, but this win here from the home side this afternoon helps. Oh, with that, there is David Yeboah down. He has a yellow card already and takes his tough hit. Not how you'd like to be spending your afternoon. And with that hard hit, he's calling for some medical assistance. Yeboah is okay and is able to continue. His last stint, actually, when we refer to Yeboah, is actually with Mendiola, and he is from Ghana, just like Stephen Holm. The play resumed, courtesy of Hartman. It's back to him. Well, let's run through our standings as we've said. As there is the sliding tackle from Timothy Uy. And Kaya tops the table with 19 points after 7 games, with 6 wins and a draw. And then right behind is Juan Taguig with 16 points after 8 games. That's Placito. Got to connect with Pickering, but no good. There's Manila Digger with 15 points after 7 games, and Stallion had the same tally of points after 8 games though. So there's some catching up to do for Laguna in the standings, given that they finished 5th heading into the Holiday or ASEAN Mitsubishi Electric Cup break. Well, you'll take all the points that you can, and at this rate, that's what they've been able to do. As it is we're just awaiting this result to become official, given that we have this commanding scoreline. Hartman Finn McDaniel to A. Placito. They wanted a handball from the looks of it. Play to the whistle of the referee again, as we know and as we say. As it is with the keeper now. And Mendiola with this will fall to 8 losses and 1 draw. And they are at the bottom of the table as it's with Placito. Unselfish play. You gotta love that teamwork there. Finn McDaniel gets another goal. Here's another look at the goal right here. Stallion making it look easy.
Goal for Stallion Laguna FC. As player number 8, Griffin McDaniel.
In that play also, there was a brave man who was downed. And it's going to be a difficult drive back home here for Mendiola FC 1991. Expectations were high coming out of the holiday break, especially with the way they retooled their roster once more. Things look promising with the way Mendiola battled against Davao Aguila's last game. This last weekend, actually. Well, yes, that was a 3-0 loss. My Mendiola to Davao. Well, there was positivity with the way they played, but things take a hit here. Yes, Mendiola is undermanned again without Hamed Hajimari, their captain and midfielder. Hamed had to miss this game after accumulating 2 yellow cards in the last game, and that automatically leads to a red. But it is now 7-1. That goal again earlier to put more icing on the cake. That's from Finn McDaniel again. 4 goals for him in this game. And he got his hat trick actually in 59 minutes, or may have been 60 actually to be precise. But it is 59 by my records from this game. Del Mundo. Earlier, we could see Christian Lapas just trying to come up with something in the midfield. But Mendiola can walk away with a consolation goal. But given that they trailed 2-1 at halftime, this loss, this result, absolutely stinks for them. Belgira returned it to Del Mundo. They wanted to get it to Ibrahim, but there was this stop from Antipuesto. Placito. Ibrahim. There is the push, and that's enough here for our referee, John Mike Basinang, who point to the spot. We thought it was over already, not because of the long whistle, but because of the scoreline. Fahmi Ibrahim winning a penalty here for Stallion Laguna FC. Finn McDaniel often the main penalty taker for this squad. And it seems that's the case. Discussions, I think. Who'll take it? It's Finn McDaniel. Finn McDaniel already with 4 goals. A. Placito earlier was on the clear but just gave it up. Another assist though for Mr. Incredible. A chance to make it 6 goals here for McDaniel. It's already 7-1. That is no typo right here. McDaniel versus Joshua Halog. A stop here, of course, can be an extra consolation for Mendiola. McDaniel gets denied though. And it's a stop right here for Mendiola. just when there was the anticipation for another set of icing on the cake, there was a stop here from Joshua Halog. He came off the bench, and that's a massive confidence builder for him. He was recently the backup of Kenry Balobo with Maharlika before making the jump to Mendiola, as it's punched out here. First, there's a player down for Mendiola once more. And it's Timothy Oy back on his feet. Well, Oy, of course, is tough and is back on his feet. Let's look again at Timothy Oy. There will be a throw-in to resume this. Score stays 7-1 because that Finn McDaniel penalty was denied by Halog. But here is the long throw. Charles Pickering, from the looks of it, showing us that he has that long throw himself. No cartwheels, no tumbling from him here. Charles Pickering, someone who was the schoolmate actually, or he was the schoolmate of the Winter Soldier and William Winter when they were growing up. As here is a corner. Ibrahim, tough one. And it's a goal here. A Placito gets another one. An incredible day for him. And that's a brace for A Placito. An assist from Fami Ibrahim. Stallion eventually get that magic 8 despite of Finn McDaniel's penalty getting denied. Mendiola, unfortunately, have had to fish their ball out of the net, or fish the ball out of the net 8 times to restart play because of this barrage. And Fahmi Ibrahim continue to keep up the intensity, given that these are professional players. They respect one another by playing hard from whistle to whistle, from start to finish. McDaniel flicked it back to Ibrahim. Koichi, when it was cleared off. Balot. Yebua chases it, but there's a player down for Laguna. And it's with Roberto Llamas. A rare touch from him as of late. He's got to be gutted, of course, because of that one or lone goal they conceded. Just seconds away from confirming additional time before this result is in the books. Canicosa libre, antipuesto. Number of players taking the deck as of late. The cross. Halog eventually secured despite an initial loose touch. And with this, Stallion improves its chances again in the race for at least a top 4 spot. A top 4 spot again, because the teams who advance to the final series will actually, or that is how our champion will be determined. The top 4 teams will figure in a playoff. But if you finish in the top 2 here in our double round robin, you will get seats to play in the AFC Champions League 2. And the representatives last time around of the Philippines on the continental stage were Cebu FC and Kai FC Iloilo. Hartman. Pickering coming from an offside position clearly, and our linesman was right in front of him. So 5 minutes of additional time, 1 minute already done and dusted. It's been plenty of touches for key members of Mendiola, but they are unable to just retake control of this game. There'll be some spells, of course, or some plays where they look dangerous. But Stallion has been running riot here. Later on again, don't you forget, we do have our second and final matchup this PFL Saturday. There's this Dava Aguilas in Maharlika at the gig. We'll square off at 7 p.m. And you can catch the games also on matchday.ph. And tomorrow, on February 2, at the UP Diliman Football Stadium, there is Kai in Cebu who will play once more at 6 p.m. But the curtain raiser will be at 3 p.m. with the youth national team facing Manila Digger. And as we said, the Philippines is grouped with Tajikistan, Maldives, and Timor-Leste in the third round of the Asian Cup qualifiers. Although the Philippines was eliminated from the World Cup qualifiers for next year, there's still that aspect, of course. And of course, our national team did finish as semi-finalists in the recently concluded ASEAN Mitsubishi Electric Cup. And statistically, with the Philippines finishing with a better record than the other losing semi-finalists in Singapore, our national team is actually in third place if you look at the rankings, but there's no third place game or anything. That throw in, or that free kick, was taken despite of the traffic. There was Sultani who wanted to win it in a good position for them in the midfield, as it's with Hartman. He's a tough player to stop, of course, in the midfield. Found Belguera here. Great eye from him. McDaniel, he has the armband again as Matniera stepped off. Placito the flick. Ibrahim. Fami. Laser-like here. Maybe too much power though. And the next game again, if we talk about our national team, will be against Maldives. And so far, that will be held in the Philippines. It is possible that that fixture will be held at another stadium, not the outside of the Rizal Memorial Stadium. Given that the usual venue, of course, for national team and PFL games is still under renovation, specifically the turf. That Mendiola gets suffocated again in the midfield though. Well, there's some bright spots, of course, to take away from Mendiola. There's Milad Begandom getting a start and showed some control in the midfield. There's some fans on the other side catching the action. Tumatambay lang, and in a great spot if you ask me. Finn McDaniel's rocket is off here. Accuracy, of course, was lacking a bit. Angle was always going to be tough, as we are seconds away from hitting the 5th and final minute. This may be the last kick of the game from Joshua Halog. Yes, there's a consolation goal for Mendiola thanks to Pira of that Michael Sims assist. And Halog, who came in as a sub, did get that penalty stop versus Finn McDaniel. And it's 5 goals for Finn McDaniel. And it's made official right here as referee John Mike Basinang just gave us the full-time whistle. And that man right there is our man of the match. 5 goals for him. It could have been 6. And his penalty got stopped. But that was not enough to deny Finn McDaniel from this massive performance. And with Finn McDaniel's 5 goals, he actually leads the Golden Boot race now, and he's ahead of Saiku Basise of Manila Digger, Shuto Komaki of Kai FC, and Rico Andes of Loyola. The trio I just mentioned have 7 goals each. Finn now has 8 in this season. Now there you go once more. And confirmation of our results. And it's a massive performance from McDaniel. Well, there you go. Joining him, there's the likes of Placito, Trujillo, Ibrahim, and Shabab Pira. And there you go. We'll sign off from this one. But that does it for this match. And a big thank you, of course. And we'll see you in the next game. We've got Davao and Maharlika squaring off.